What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 220 of the Untame the Wild Soul podcast. This is also Sunday sermon number 20, which is kind of fun. If you're new here or this is your first Sunday sermon, these are shorter solo episodes, just 10 to 20 minutes, where I do oracle readings, share my favorite prayers, poems, and excerpts from what I'm reading. They're like wild and untamed gospel, heart ponderings, and delicious morsels of wisdom to spark your own truth, power, and love from my wild soul to yours. In these episodes, I explore creative and inspiring ideas, thoughts, and ruminations for you to be nourished and fed by going into your week. As a person who was raised with religion, another inspiration to create these sermons was to provide a Sunday ritual that's more aligned with my current and ever-evolving spirituality and worldviews. That said, all belief systems are welcome here on the show. My truth, ponderings, and curiosities are simply that, my own. So no matter what your faith is, may you get exactly what you need from listening to this, and may you remember always that everything you've ever needed has always been inside of you. You are made from love, you are love, and you are loved. I'm calling this sermon Real Kind Progress because I want to take two mindsets that are pervasive and detrimental in our culture and offer you an alternative. Those two mindsets are the all-or-nothing mentality and perfectionism. In her book, Bird by Bird, Some Instructions on Writing and Life, Lamott speaks about perfectionism. She says, perfectionism is the voice of the oppressor, the enemy of the people. It will keep you cramped and insane your whole life, and it is the main obstacle between you and a shitty first draft. I think perfectionism is based on the obsessive belief that if you run carefully enough, hitting each stepping stone just right, you won't have to die. The truth is that you will die anyway, and that a lot of people who aren't even looking at their feet are going to do a whole lot better than you and have a lot more fun while they're doing it. I've also heard Brené Brown talk about perfectionism, calling it a really seductive idea, the idea that you could do everything so perfectly that no one could possibly judge you or criticize you. Essentially, it's a pipe dream anyway. Even people who call themselves perfectionists, in and of itself, it's kind of a misnomer because nobody is perfect. Or does that mean we all just actually are perfect, exactly how we are? I'll let you choose wherever you want to land with that paradox yourself. I had a client once who shared about growing up in a house where trophies were displayed, but only the number one trophies. So if you came in second or third, might as well throw that trophy in the trash. It's not good enough. And she literally remembered throwing a second place trophy in the trash. Maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you had a parent who, if you came home with a 98 on an exam, would ask what happened to the other 2 points instead of celebrating the 98. People have also shared how this shows up in their lives by thinking if it's not the best, why bother? Which prevents them from enjoying something better at all. And by something better, I mean the entire range of possibilities that exist between the best and the worst, which are very subjective, obviously, but you know what I'm saying here. And then there's all or nothing, which is very similar to perfectionism. It's saying if you can't go all the way, why even go at all? Which again, has people missing out on a range of experiences that exist between all and nothing. During the decluttering week in one of my trainings, a woman shared this. She said, I'm grateful for you noting and giving us permission to quickly declutter just one thing. Thank you. That small comment unlocks something for me. I can get caught up in all or nothing thinking easily and think I have to do it all or do it a certain way. And if that's not feasible, I do nothing. But my new mantra is 5 minutes. Hone into the priority and declutter a small, immediate, important space for just 5 minutes. I couldn't love this more. India Arie has a song on her album Songversations called Just Let It Go. I'm going to read you the lyrics. Honestly, I'd sing it if that was going to be an enjoyable experience for any of us, but I guarantee you it wouldn't be. Here's what it says. You've been through so much, so many ups and downs. You've given your love, but never liked the way it turned out. You closed off your heart and you carried the weight like a million rocks on your shoulders. But you don't have to wait for an apology or for someone else to make amends when you can remember that your healing is in your hands. Just let it go, inch by inch. Just let it go and do it again. Just let it go. One day you'll see. Just let it go. You set yourself free. You've been used, you've been abused. Someone came along who didn't value you. You carried the weight of your heart like a million rocks on your shoulders. But life isn't meant to be perfect, and we won't always win. But can you remember that your healing is in your hands? I love this song, especially that chorus. Just let it go, inch by inch. Just let it go and do it again. Just let it go. One day you'll see. Just let it go. Set yourself free. That concept, inch by inch, is the same concept as bird by bird that Lamott talks about in her book. It's the same thing that one of my mentors taught me by taking action to just feel 1% better or do 1% more. We procrastinate so much. We tell ourselves we're not ready, and we get so overwhelmed because we're trying to go all in all the time, 100%, be the best, and we want to reach the finish line in one leap. And that's just not how anything works. So take yourself off the hook of perfection, shifting from all or nothing to something is better than nothing, and focusing on each bird, each inch, and just 1% is how you make real, kind progress. And why is this kind? Because it acknowledges your humanhood. It considers your capacity. It demands that you just do what you can and reminds you that whatever you can muster any given day or moment is enough. Because you know this, and I know this. Not all those inches are created equal. Sometimes what it takes to move even a tiny bit forward takes a lot of energy, maturity, time, reflection, love, compassion, effort. You have to go deep to move just that little bit sometimes, and it's worth it. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. Don't listen to people who want to tell you your efforts aren't good enough or that you aren't good enough. Your efforts do not have to be good enough for anyone else. Real, kind progress asks you to be your own validator. Celebrate all effort as good effort so that you can keep going. I was supposed to meet up with a friend earlier this week, and our plans fell through in a weird situation. She felt badly. It had been a while since we'd seen each other, and she asked how I felt about it. She was concerned for our friendship, and I told her it was solid effort. I had no doubts about our friendship. It just didn't work out that day, that's all. And we caught up over the phone instead. But what was interesting is she was ready to hang up, and I said, hey, can we just catch up here on the phone? Like she was thinking because we weren't going to see each other in person, we couldn't catch up. And this is how our minds work sometimes, all or nothing. And what happened? Because I asked if we could just do something differently, which would clarify as some of that space in between all or nothing, right? We had a lovely catch up. I didn't miss out on connecting altogether because we couldn't connect the way we had planned. And before we hung up, I said that to her. I said, hey, solid effort today. And I meant it. I was proud of us for not letting weird timing and unexpected changes get in the way of the outcome we desired, which was connection and catching up. You could probably think of many more examples of this in your own life. When you bail or consider bailing on something because it's not what you wanted or expected, and then miss out entirely on the thing, when truly there is an alternative that could create the same or similar outcome. This is real, kind progress. In this world where sometimes it's hard to tell between what's fabricated, exaggerated, and true, we could all use a little more realness and a little more kindness because those two things are always true. So as always, thank you so much for listening. Again, this was episode number 220. So you can see the links to the India Ari song, to the Lamott book in the show notes over at untameyourself.com/episode-220. As well, through the end of the month here in December, for anyone who wants to attend a Wild Soul Movement weekend workshop in 2018, the schedule is up on the website at wildsoulmovement.com/WSM workshops, WSM as in Wild Soul Movement. So that link is wildsoulmovement.com/WSM workshops. And if you sign up before December 31st, you'll save a little bit of money. The price is going up in 2018. So check those out. Obviously, I always look forward anytime I get to meet any of you in real life and move with you and do some of this work in person and help you meet and connect with other Wild Soul women all over the world. So have an amazing week, and we'll see you soon.